Are you getting ready to take delivery of your Tesla Model 3 and are freaking out because you don't know what to expect? You don't know if the car is going to have panel gaps, missing seats, or any of the above. So I am here to help you today to go through that delivery checklist to make sure that you are looking for all of the things that could potentially be wrong with your Tesla Model 3 so that you can get them noted during the delivery process and not have to worry about arguing with Tesla to get things fixed that you may find later. Let's go. So you're on your way to pick up your brand new Tesla Model 3 and you're just not quite sure what to expect when you get there. Well, this delivery checklist will help you get through that process and make sure that you do notate anything with the delivery specialist that is wrong with your Tesla Model 3 so it is in your record so that you can always go back and refer to it if you need to get any repairs done. More importantly, this checklist will be your guide and help you make a decision on whether or not you should or should not take delivery or accept delivery of your Tesla Model 3. So let's get started. Make sure and validate that your VIN number matches all of your documentation and paperwork. This should indicate everything that you've ordered is absolutely correct. Verify that VIN number, make sure that you have it there and it matches the exterior of the vehicle. And if you have a dual motor long range, that should be noted here. If you have a performance, it will be underlined. And you need to make sure that you are taking delivery of the correct Model 3. I would suggest that you sit in every single seat in the car because as you get a different perspective, you may find things that you wouldn't have sitting in one seat. You want to give your eyes a different perspective on the car in general. Make sure that you're not looking at everything from one perspective. Get in the car, sit in every seat, and verify that everything looks as good as it does from every other seat. So continuing on with the interior, you're going to want to make sure that you test every single electronic function of the car. Every door button. You're going to want to make sure that you test all of your seat functions, your bolster, your up, down, forward and back. For your passenger and driver seat, you're going to want to make sure that you test your windows, auto up and down for every single window in the vehicle. And you're going to want to test each window independently of each other to make sure they work as well. You're going to want to make sure that you test your steering wheel adjustments as well, as I had some issues with that after a service. So I wanted to throw that in this video as well. Make sure that it telescopes correctly all the way out, all the way in, and up and down accordingly. Over all of your stitching to make sure that everything is in line and that you don't have any bumps or anything in any of your seats. That goes for every single seat, front and back, as you will have a very, very difficult time getting any of your seats fixed if you have any issues at a later date. You're also going to want to check the backs of the seats to make sure that you don't have any scuff marks, abrasions, or scratches in it, as well as your steering wheel, your dash, your screen, your console. And I will tell you this console scratches so easy. At some point, you are going to want to put in some kind of protection, and that will be an accessory that we will cover in a later video. So stay tuned for that one, folks. But it scratches super easy, and I'm telling you, by the time you get this home from delivery, you will have scratches in it. So just be very, very cognizant of what is existing in the car so that you can have your delivery specialist note that. Check your screen, make sure that you don't have any defects in it. Check your dashboard, whether it be the wood grain or the white ceramic here, and check all of your door panels to make sure that you have the right color inserts and that it is free of defects as well. Your car should also come with cloth floor mats. You're going to want to make sure that you have them for every location, your two front and your rear, as well as a floor mat for the front. The trunk does not come with one. And you're going to also want to make sure that you have no abrasions, scratches, or scuffs in any of your glass. You want to make sure, especially in the back window, that you do not have any cracks or marring marks anywhere on the glass itself. You're also going to want to come in here and just check all of your features and make sure also that you are on the latest and greatest software release. Do not let them send you home with a previous version of software. Get the latest and greatest while you are there waiting and picking up your car. You're going to want to check the glove box, make sure that it opens correctly and it closes correctly. There have been some issues where things weren't lining up correctly in the glove box, so please just go ahead and make sure that you check that as well. And you're also going to want to check all of your features and functionalities, such as your air conditioning, your rear vents. Make sure that that is working and the blowers are working. Check the speeds. I would check each and every one of them independently to make sure the motor is blowing correctly. Make sure your AC is working and your heat is working. Make sure that all vents are working correctly. Make sure that all of your heated seats are correctly working. And I would seriously go and sit in each and every one of them as you turn them on and off. You're also going to want to check your radio. Make sure that your streaming services are set up, and make sure that if you did buy the long range that you are getting your web-based services correctly. You're going to want to check your FM radio and your tune-in settings, your slacker radio, and just make sure that you are able to search and play and everything sounds correctly. Which leads me to my next topic, which is validating and making sure that every single one of your speakers are working correctly. Now, you don't have to necessarily go up to each and every one. If you want to, you certainly can do that. Or all you need to do is come into your audio settings and pull up your balance and just go ahead and check every single speaker. It's that simple, but I would certainly recommend that you do that, just so you can validate that you have working speakers throughout the vehicle. And of course, jam out. Because the sound system is awesome. But basically, if you sit in either of the seats, you'll be able to hear the sound emitting from all of the speakers. Again, my whole make sure you sit in every seat perspective, just to make sure that you are getting quality sound and everything sounds like it's supposed to. I would also check your rear and front defrost. Make sure that your controls are working here up in the front. And yeah, I think that's about it. But just making sure that everything is on your displays are working. Make sure you can get through everything so you don't have any problems going down the road and finding out at a later time that something's not working. And if you do, just make sure that you call Tesla right away and get it noted. Don't wait days or weeks. Call right away so that they know that you have noticed this thing immediately after taking delivery and you haven't been pondering it and you know, something else happened to the vehicle while after you have taken delivery of it. Make sure that you have the correct color and wheels. These seem to be no-brainers, but are going to be very, very important and things that you may forget while you're going through this process because you are so excited about your brand new Tesla Model 3. Make sure that you guys do check to make sure that you have your spare tire located here underneath the compartment because there's been some vehicles that have been delivered without them. So let's just check to make sure mine is still here. Aha, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure you're paying attention to the video. A Tesla Model 3 doesn't come with a spare tire, but what it does come with is a charging cable. And you are going to want to make sure, get this over here. And you're going to want to make sure that you get all of your charging cables and adapters. Now, I was told that this cable no longer comes with the charger. It is just or this doesn't come with the car any longer. All you are is getting your standard cable, and that is it. So make sure you have that in your car as well. The other thing that should be included in your vehicle is the front license plate holder. So make sure that this is in there as well. And it comes with all of the screws that you need to mount your license plate if you require one in your state. I don't need one, so if you need one, give me a call. I'll send it to you. Some of the exterior items that you're going to want to closely look at are the panel gaps. Make sure that everything is in alignment from a door to window perspective and from a door to door perspective. You also want to make sure that your gaps are consistent all the way down the door seam and that they're consistent on both sides of the vehicle. One of the bigger issues have been the alignments of the tail lights, the charge port, and the trunk lid. Meaning this gap all the way down and around. Both taillights should have a consistent gap from the trunk to the light itself. You also want to check the paint for any inconsistencies. I found one well after delivery. I don't know if you could see it there, but there's a little bit of a run and there's a little bit of a drip. Now they are not willing to take care of this, so you must note these types of things at delivery in order for you to have any chance of Tesla fixing these issues. If you don't note them, they won't fix them. Well, if you watched my delivery video, you'll notice that I did note some paint defects, and one of them was in my driver's side door jamb. It was literally about a 1 inch wide by a 2 or 3 inch long mark that was down to the bare metal. There was no paint there. And I was told recently by a Tesla delivery specialist that they are not fixing those types of issues. So again, something you're going to have to consider as you go through and take delivery of your vehicle. One of the other major issues that you need to identify is the hood. The hood tends to have a nice gap all the way around, but in some instances, the bumper is not aligning correctly with the hood. So make sure you take a close look at that, as well as the headlights. In a lot of deliveries, there have been issues with the headlights not sitting properly within the shell, and they were both uneven. So you just want to take a look to make sure that everything is seating properly all the way around the headlight on both sides. And it's always good to have somebody with you, so you just have another set of eyes looking at the same things you are to make sure that you are identifying everything correctly. One of the other major issues that I did note in my delivery was these wing tips of the bumper. Mine were sticking out past the fender here, so I had Tesla go ahead and pull those in. Not a big deal. That's an easy fix, and most of these are. But if you don't note them, they won't take care of them for you, and you may have issues going into the service center down the road to say, hey, these were issues that I've noted at delivery. Get them noted at delivery with your delivery specialist while you are there on the lot looking at your car. That is the best way to handle this. So that's really it for the exterior. You're going to want to look at your paint very, very closely. Look at all of your panel gaps to make sure everything is in line. Look at your chrome trim to make sure there are no scratches or dings or dents in it. And just make sure that your rear tail lights are also in line and looking good from both sides. There's one other thing that I would suggest that you look at as it pertains to the exterior of the vehicle, and that is just checking your rims, because these alloy wheels actually chip really, really easy, and you want to make sure that you do not see any of these on any of your tires. And then I would also just go ahead and further examine all the tires, make sure that you don't see any bubbles or anything like that blowing out on them. And this will give you a peace of mind as you're driving home as well, just to make sure that everything looks good. But please don't forget to check your rims. Make sure that you don't have any dings, scratches, or nicks in them, as you shouldn't. And if you do, make sure that you note it again with your delivery specialist. I cannot emphasize that enough. You need to note all of these issues with your delivery specialist, either to decline your delivery or to get all of these items fixed at a later date. And I think that wraps us up. Okay, folks, so there you have it. I know it was a long, lengthy video, but I wanted to make sure and really just, identify some of the key critical things that I felt I needed to know while I was taking delivery of my Tesla Model 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create this document and put it in my Google Drives and link it down below so that you all can have a record of it. But take it with you. Make sure that you go through it. If you're not going to do it, whoever's going with you, make sure that they're holding you accountable for checking off all of the items on the list. You'll be happy that you did, and you'll be much better off and have a better delivery experience if you go through this checklist and verify all the things that you may not be thinking of while you're in the middle of taking delivery of your beautiful Tesla Model 3. So folks, thank you so much for tuning into the channel, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. We truly appreciate it.